darf auch ein bisschen klatschen. Wunderbare Musik. Ari, come over here. Thank you so much. Wonderful music, and we're very happy to have you here today. Shouts and Whispers, that is the name of your album. It's your 8th studio album, right?
Yes.
Here, I'll give you this.
Yeah, sure. This is, Shouts and Whispers is my 8th record. I put out some other collaboration records as well, but as far as my own music, it's my 8th.
And when you were young, I read that you started making music, or started playing music when you were like 5 or 6, but you didn't decide till you were in college to become a real musician.
Yeah, I was much more interested in sports as a kid. I grew up with...
The Yankees, or...?
I was a Yankee fan. I grew up 5 minutes from the ballpark.
Okay, so you had to be a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
I'm from Boston, so that's not so good, but that's okay. I'll still talk to you.
Maybe
That's
we should
okay.
stop, yeah. You know, I was way into it, and I came from a musical background, and I always knew that music would be something that would be important in my life. But I didn't start writing music until I was 18 or 19 years old, and guitar was around the same time too. So, you know, I didn't know that I really had a talent for writing songs and singing like that until later on. Has
your voice always been this deep, or did it has it changed in the last couple of years?
No, well, not the last couple of years. It changed. It changed a long time ago. I mean, it's never, you know, it wasn't this deep as a kid, obviously.
Obviously,
but,
yeah.
I guess I became a little more of a baritone as I got older, and I prefer singing, you know, kind of on the in that range anyway. It's just kind of easier for me anyway.
We'll talk about what happened in college and stuff later on, but I want to talk about your father used to write jingles for advertisements.
Yeah.
So what was like your favorite advertisement as a kid? What were the songs that you sang that you remember from the stuff that he wrote?
Well, my first experience in a recording studio was with him and a bunch of other little kids, and I was maybe 6 or 7, and we sang a Brookstone tire commercial, which I can't actually remember the jingle, but you know, I sang on, there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing, you know, he did a lot.
I bet you were really cool in school back then.
You know, I didn't know it was cool to do, so I didn't brag about it. I was more, again, like into sports, but you know, I did have the Ninja Turtle backpack, and perhaps that was because I sang the commercial. I don't know. That was probably what the money you got for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the rest of it went to my college education.
So did your father see your talent back then? Did he say, don't forget about the sports, come on, do some more music?
My parents both saw the talent, but I think they were afraid of the lifestyle of a musician and the sort of the freelance work kind of thing where you're just not really sure how you're going to make a living, and it's very much something where you have to create your own routine, and maybe they were afraid that I wouldn't be able to adjust. You know, they themselves are musicians who at times, you know, had some difficulty with that, so they sent me off to a school to be something completely different, and I wound up doing music anyway.
You did marketing, right?
Well, I was a communications major.
Okay.
Which I don't really know what that even means, so.
It means that you know to say that you had got a Ninja Turtle backpack.
That's right.
Right?
That's
that
right.
kind of works
Good
that
enough.
way. I'm just going to translate a little bit for our viewers.
Sure.
Also ist mit einer musikalischen Familie aufgewachsen. Sein Vater hat Werbung-Songs geschrieben, und da war er auch schon mit im Studio und hat auch mitgesungen und hat damals auch für Ninja Turtles zum Beispiel einen Song mitgesungen, hat er für ein Backpack bekommen. Das war so sein Reward, und seine Eltern haben damals gesagt, mach was Vernünftiges, mach keine Musik, obwohl du sehr talentiert bist, aber es wäre vielleicht besser, wenn du was Richtiges lernst, und trotzdem, also hat er auch gemacht, hat bis zum Ende studiert, Communications, und dann hat er trotzdem gesagt, ich mache Musik. Back then in college, when you decided, okay, I'm going to make music, when was the first time you played in front of an audience and thought, this is really what I want to do, and when you noticed the first time people really were listening to what you were trying to say?
My first performances were actually in parties. You know, there would be these late night parties where they'd ask me to come in and play cover songs, play other people's music, and I would play for 3 or 4 hours and try to throw in a song or two that was mine. And basically, I judged whether they liked the music upon whether they went out of the room to get a drink and come back, or whether they stayed. And sometimes they went out for the drink, and sometimes they stayed. So I got to figure out a little bit about, you know, what songs are going to resonate, and I was really just starting to listen to records. I didn't grow up with a lot of records. as a kid, I just listened to whatever my big brother had and whatever my parents had, but it wasn't really a hobby collecting, records until later on, and I really started to gain inspiration from other people around that time in college.
And Daniel is your older brother,
Yeah.
and he managed you for a while.
He did for a long time. He was my manager, which can be a little difficult to have a big brother manager. But we figured it out for a while, and now he's onto other things, and we actually have a much better relationship.
I can imagine this. I bet it's not easy having someone tell you, you've got to, when in an interview, you've got to say this, or you have to do this kind of music and stuff like that. Is that how it worked? Did you fight a lot, or?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hear that from your brother.
Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be your manager. He would still be your manager, yeah.
Right. But, we treated each other with as much respect as we could, but at times the sort of rivalry thing, probably got in the way.
I can imagine. Does he play music too?
He plays music, but not for a living. He lives in Chicago, and he works in business, and has two adorable kids, one of which that last song was about, actually.
Oh, really?
But we keep in touch quite a bit, and he's very musical himself.
So tell me, it's the daughter, or what the song is?
He has a daughter and a son. The daughter is going to be 5 in about a month, and the song is about her. And he has a 2-year-old son also.
And does he have a song yet too?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I got to write that one.
But he's only 2.
Back.
You still have some time.
Yeah.
Does she know that the song is about her? Does she like the song?
I don't think she grasps that it's about her yet. I mean, she says she does, but then she's on to playing with some other toy or something.
She'll become a fan soon enough, I'm sure.
Well, she likes to play music with Uncle Ari. She just, she doesn't know that particular song is, particularly special.
You have an album called 12 Mondays, and that was an album. I think it's really interesting the way you recorded it. Every Monday, you wrote and recorded a new song. That must have been quite a lot of pressure.
It was a lot of pressure, and it was just self-imposed. I was on a big record label back in the States for 2 albums, and it didn't really work out the way that I was hoping. And I started to write and record songs on my own, and I just decided I like to write a lot. I want to do something that's going to stand out. I'm just going to put out a song a week and see what happens. And I did this thing called 52, which is 52 songs in 52 weeks, putting them out each week. And then 12 Mondays with a favorite 12 from my audience that heard it. 12 Mondays became the album from those 52 songs.
Were you surprised what the people chose?
Some of them, yes. But I had to go with what they chose. I couldn't do what I wanted necessarily. And
did some of the other songs wind up on some of the other albums then?
A little bit, yeah. There were some that, I kind of was hoping that they would choose that I didn't want to see vanish, like a lot of the rest of them. I thought some of them had potential to keep playing, and I have put them on. I have 3 records since then, so a couple of them have winded on.
What I always ask myself, when people have made so many albums, when you go on tour, is it hard to remember all the lyrics and all the chords and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I know guys who bring these like monitors that are facing them, and they have all the lyrics just in case they forget. I'm not at that stage yet, but if you ask the audiences that I play for, they'll tell you that usually at least once a show I have to stop in the middle and think, wait a minute, what was I singing about? And then get it
That's
back.
Okay. It must be fun too when people start singing.
I like when I make mistakes. It makes it all more human.
If you compare the albums that you started with the first album to the last one, to Sounds and Whispers, what is the biggest difference for you as the artist listening to it?
Well, there's a big difference in the way that I sing. There's a big difference in the way that I write my lyrics. I really paid more attention to what I was saying and edited out a lot of words that maybe weren't quite connecting with people. And I just think my influence has changed quite a bit. I mean, the people I was listening to at the beginning, I don't listen to anymore, and it was just replaced by this crop of mostly 70s, 60s and 70s musicians. A lot of Paul Simon, a lot of James Taylor, a lot of Beatles. I didn't listen to a ton of that stuff growing up, so my first record or two was more in the vein of a Dave Matthews Band or I don't know, just other sort of rootsier music. And I think even though I maintain playing acoustic guitar on a lot of my music, I think that the influences have made me change the way that I think about how I'm going to write songs.
I just realized I didn't translate anything you said, so I'm going to do it really fast. I'm going to try to. Bonafide ist über seine Nichte, die ist 5 Jahre alt, der hat noch einen Neffen, der ist 2 Jahre alt. Das sind die Kinder von seinem Bruder, der ist Daniel, der hat ihn gemanagt über viele, viele Jahre. Aber die haben sich zu sehr gestritten, deswegen haben die das mal gelassen. Er hat 8 Studioalben. Ich habe ihn gefragt, wie die sich das unterscheiden, vom 1. bis zum 8. Er hat damals die Dave Matthews Band eher gehört und das war eher in der Musik wiederzuerkennen. Und jetzt eher so Singer-Songwriter wie James Taylor, deswegen vielleicht auch ein bisschen ruhiger und er achtet ein bisschen mehr auf das, was er schreibt. Das war die Kurzfassung. Ich denke, er versteht das meiste. I had the honor interviewing James Taylor a couple of years ago and saw him on stage. And what I was really surprised about, he's very, very shy. He doesn't say very much on stage. What about you when you're performing?
I'm kind of on the shy side, I guess. I think I used to be much more shy. I didn't, I always wanted to be a songwriter and a singer, at least since I became an adult. But I didn't have the urge to get on stage at first. I didn't really enjoy the feeling of just being, all the eyes on me. But I grew to like it, and I grew to enjoy like the moments that I have where I don't even feel like I'm doing it. I'm in it so much so that I don't even realize I'm there. That's only something that I feel doing this. So I grew to like it quite a bit.
And people can see you on stage. Ihr könnt ihn auf jeden Fall, also jetzt gleich hier bei uns in der Sendung live nochmal sehen mit 2 Songs. Und er wird auch am Klavier spielen, aber auch jetzt in NRW in den nächsten Tagen, wie zum Beispiel morgen Abend im Café Bo in Köln ist er zu sehen oder am Mittwoch in der Saxo-Bar in Remscheid, am Donnerstag in der Haldern Popbar in Haldern und am Freitag im Talschlösschen hier in Düsseldorf. Also da könnt ihr auf jeden Fall mal vorbeigehen und es wird wunderschön. Es sind teilweise kleine Locations, wo man das Gefühl hat, er spielt dann nur für einen selber und das ist natürlich was ganz Großartiges. You're going to be playing in a couple minutes from your album Shouts and Whisper, but we're going to watch a video that was from the album 12 Mondays. Yeah. It's Dead End Driving. Maybe you can tell us a short story about what it's about.
Yeah, Dead End Driving is a song about I wrote really for a friend of mine who was struggling to figure out how to be a professional musician, how to maintain his career, and I was just trying to tell him that we can't rely on the big labels to help us anymore. We kind of have to go into this place of being a little more responsible for how we put out our own music and a little more independent thinking, and it was more of a message to him.
Also ist ein Song für einen Freund geschrieben, der auch Musiker ist und wo er gesagt hat, man muss ein bisschen mehr tun und nicht einfach sich auf die Plattenfirma verlassen und einfach das machen, worauf man Lust hat. Dead End Driving heißt es von dem Album 12 Mondays und gleich werden wir ein bisschen mehr von Ari Hest hören. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure having you. Und jetzt ein bisschen wunderschöne Musik für euch von Dead End Driving, Ari Hest.